Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, right? So today I want to talk to you about the drug habit you might be experiencing and explain why it's been so tough to break. Wait, you didn't realize you have a drug addiction? Well, if you're still not over your ex, I'm going to tell you how you might, but also how to get past it. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Errol Greene, and I can coach anyone on how to go over their ex and through the worst breakups in just 30 days or less. And if you'd like to know more about how I do that, I'll post some information below this video. But on to the topic and that nasty drug problem I was telling you about earlier. So you're missing your ex, and maybe they were and maybe they weren't even such great people. Or maybe you only dated them for a very short period of time, and now you've realized you're grieving the loss of a relationship longer than you even dated them. Well, if so, that's not really your fault, because infatuation and limerence are some of the most difficult relationships to break free of. And it doesn't really make sense, or does it? Well, why is this the case? Because in the early stages of relationships, our bodies release the happy hormones, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, all kinds of pheromones in large quantities. And they're the same ones that are released when people do cocaine and take drugs like ecstasy and wind up wanting to hug everybody all night long. It's just the way that our bodies react when we are in love. And no one questions the difficulty of breaking a drug addiction. So if being with a certain person was releasing the exact same hormones that these drugs release, why would this be any different? Newsflash, it really isn't. So let me state this again. Breaking up with your ex, especially during the infatuation or limerence stages when you didn't really have enough time to see all their bad sides yet, and trust me, everybody's got them, is very similar to breaking a drug addiction, only you can't really wean off your ex, right? Maybe you can if you're lucky and you're in a relationship that's slowly breaking down or ending, but if it kind of got cut cold turkey, you're going to have to break up and go cold turkey, which is something that most drug addicts will tell you is incredibly difficult to do. Stopping the faucet immediately can be really incredibly difficult. But maybe knowing this information can change how we deal and cope with it. So I want to tell you a story. My own story going through this happened in my early 20s when I was madly, wildly, also known as stupidly, in love with a woman who had cheated on me. And I knew she cheated on me. In fact, she even lied to me about not being engaged. Well, she also pulled away towards the end, finally ended up completely ghosting me, and was now free to marry that guy that she was engaged to. Now, logically, I should have been pissed off and hated her guts for it. But illogically, it hurt like hell. I mean, this idiotic cheater hurt me worse than any other relationship I would ever go on to be in. But was I mourning the loss of a great relationship? A soulmate? Love of my life that would have made it better forever? Of course not. I was mourning the loss of the endorphins that I had grown used to, being flowing whenever she was around. Because I got to admit it, whenever she was around, she was exciting. She was beautiful, perky, funny, sexy. All great things, of course, but nothing of substance, nothing you can actually build a life around unless you match them with more substantial qualities like, trustworthiness, faithfulness, honesty, decency, and, love. Actual love would have helped. But my point being, without the first few qualities being matched for the second group, you really don't have anything except a charismatic person, which I'll remind you most con men, and we are talking about women here, so con people, are extremely charismatic. So in essence, you have a false sense of love based on superficial qualities and really nothing more. At least in my case. But I had a good friend who also dated a guy who was, in essence, a drug addict con man. He was always trying to figure out ways to beat the system and make easy, often illegal money while doing heroin, amongst other things. And he would state that he loved her, but he claimed that for him to fully love her, she needed to get a boob job, perform sex acts she wasn't comfortable with, allow him to do his heroin without any judgment, and assist him in his multiple illegal endeavors. So naturally, she had to have him, right? In fact, she wound up marrying him, and we all warned her, and she even said she knew it was going to end badly or in divorce, but she had to have him. Why? because her conscious mind knew he was a terrible match for her, but her unconscious mind was addicted to the excitement and all the endorphins that were released whenever she was with her bad boy. Now, there's a sad ending to this story that I'm sure you've probably already guessed. He died of a heroin overdose, leaving her a single mother that for years to come struggled to get by. Again, my point here, these hormones don't make the best choices for us. They can lead us massively astray because excitement doesn't equal love. It's great to have oxytocin flooding our system, but if that's all there is, and that's the primary draw, it'll often make us chase after love that's really not there. Now, much of what we experience when we're longing for our next is an unconscious trick our minds are playing on us. You think you're missing the person that left you. Rationally, they are gone. You're thinking about them. The pain you feel is very real. But in reality, it's the oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, the highs that you had with them that were based on excitement, probably excitement, not necessarily love, maybe love, but mostly excitement, that causing a lot of people to feel like crap on a hot tin roof in summer. Again, this early stage romance is often when they flare up the worst. But if you understand what's happening and remind yourself of all the reasons your ex was not a good match, then you can start the conscious healing process. I personally did this by remembering all of her bad qualities and asking myself after each one, how do I build a life around that? So she lied to me a lot. How do I build a life around that? She cheated on me and lied about it multiple times. How do I build a life around that? She showed multiple times she didn't care about me and actually treated me like crap. How are you going to build a life around that? And finally, in the end, she obviously didn't care about me. How are you going to build anything, even a decent relationship, around that? So I want you to understand what you're feeling is withdrawal from your recent drug of choice, your ex. And that this is the first step. Understanding this to helping your conscious mind take back control of your unconscious mind's dirty tricks it's playing on you. So repeat after me. What I'm feeling is not so much the loss of my ex, but the loss of the feel-good hormones that my ex tricked my body into releasing. Feel-good hormones don't mean that this was the right person or even a good person. It just means they were exciting to be around. But hey, Freddy Krueger is too, right? Think about it. Anyway, I hope this video helped you and makes a difference in your life. If it did, please like and subscribe to the video on this channel. It helps so much to keep them going. And again, I offer personal breakup coaching services and guarantee that if you work with me, you will feel substantially better in 30 days or less. Just visit xyourx.com for more information. And as always, thanks again, and I will see you the next time.